Hi everyone, Igor from Wine here in Walnut Creek. Opening stock for this week, so it's always a fun part. Before we do the stock opening, I want to remind everyone that this Saturday, October 16th, we're doing Languedoc tasting from 1 to 4 p.m. So if you're in the area, please stop by. Fun tasting. Languedoc is the biggest wine producing region in the world. A lot of it is bulk wine, but what's fun about it is it's an area that it's relatively cheap land. So when you have winemakers who know how to get the best out of their land, you get really nice wines at great values. So there's many different villages, and we're going to sample 5 different villages and the wines that come from those villages. So it's going to be a fun tasting. I hope to see you at the tasting. All right, let's start with some wines. As I was telling you on our previous stock opening, is that we're going to bring in more Beaujolais. Beaujolais season is coming up. It's the most classic Thanksgiving pairing wine because of its nice fruit, high acidity, and it's just very versatile. So, let's start with that. The first one is from Jean-Paul Brun, which is, he's one of the best winemakers in Beaujolais. Typically, he makes wine in Morgon Cru, Brouilly, or Fleury. But this actually comes from southern Beaujolais. So it's not from one of the crus, but it's from the old vines that grow on sandy and clay soils. The vines are up to 60 years old, and it's a great expression kind of his talent. So let me open the case here and show you the bottle. Yeah. So like I mentioned, very nice Beaujolais. Got high scores, 92 points from James Suckley, 92 points from John Gilman. Really great expression of Beaujolais. That's not a cru. Typically, wines from southern Beaujolais are as nice, complex as the cru wines, but this is an excellent example. All right, next we have the biggest cru, Morgon. So we have a small producer, and here we're talking now it's more granite. So a lot of the cru wines, they're on granite-based soils. Some of them are 100% granite, some are a combination of granite and other soils. So this is granite. What's interesting here, it's from the Côte du Puy vineyard, which is considered the prime site in Morgon. And the very top part of it has the bluish volcanic soils on it, which is very unusual. So it's a combination of granite and volcanic soils. So yeah, very nice wine. Morgon, it's kind of considered more of a full body style Gamay, more complex. And so this is an excellent example. So this is from Chateau Grand Cochard. All right. Next one is from Saint Amour. This is the northernmost cru, so it's North Beaujolais, and it's from the same thing. A lot of vineyard base. So this comes from Les Champs Grilles from Pierre Marie Charmet, excellent producer. Mixed wines in Brouilly, Morgon, but this is Saint Amour. And the reason I want to pick up this particular wine from them is Saint Amour, you don't see that much in distribution. And this was an excellent example, and I thought, like, hey, let's bring it in. I've had wines from this producer before, from different crus. I haven't had from this cru, but when I tried it, I thought it was just as good as the other cru Beaujolais that they make. So I brought it in. All right, and finally, this is probably the cru that's kind of gets the most acclaim. It's from Moulay-à-Vin, small cru, right kind of in the middle of all the crus. Typically, it makes the most complex, full-bodied wines. That along with Morgon, but because the cru is so much smaller, the wines are typically on the higher end of the price spectrum. We're looking 30 and above for wines from these cru, which is pretty expensive for Beaujolais wines, but this was an excellent example, and for the low 20s, I think it's like a great value from this cru, so that's why I picked it up. And what's interesting is the Charmet wine and this wine, I got it from East Coast, so I'm probably one of the very few retail shops on the West Coast to have these wines. All right, guys, so that's We got Beaujolais covered. Now let's go to Italy. All right, so first one is Chianti Classico from Montesecondo. Really, really kind of renowned estate. This is the 2018 vintage, and from everything kind of I read, so it's fantastic wine. You know, when I tasted it, it's fantastic wine. But from everything I read, this might be kind of the wine of the vintage. Got 94 points from Vinous Magazine, 17.5 points from Jancis Robinson. I haven't seen other Chianti Classicos for 2018 get quite such scores. So like I said, it's fantastic wine, and yeah, I think it's a great example of Chianti Classico. All right. Kind of staying in Tuscany, we're gonna go to Pisa. So this is very interesting. So it's technically considered a part of the greater Chianti region. So this Petrolo is the producer. So the tiny appellation is called Val di Arno di Sopra. So there's actually like two famous producers in that small appellation, and this is one of them. They specialize mostly in Super Tuscans. So this is a classic combination of Cabernet, Merlot, Sangiovese, Super Tuscan. The interesting thing is it's technically from the Chianti region, not from the Bulgarian coast. So, but a great wine. You don't see this wine in distribution a lot either. So I was very excited to get this wine, and I think it's a great value Super Tuscan. All right, now another Super Tuscan. So it's fun how this works. So this is from the Montepeloso estate, and this is from the Tuscan coast, right in the Bulgarian region. So that's the classic Super Tuscan area. Very interesting combination of grapes. So you have Cabernet, Montepulciano, which you don't see that often, Sangiovese, Marcellan, which is a rare grape that I hardly see anywhere, and Alicante Bouschet. So like very interesting Super Tuscan combination. And what's fun is 2019 vintage is basically the current vintage, but I was able to get this wine, and you know, very excited to have this wine, and it's nice combination, nice value for $25. I think this is an excellent wine. So this is kind of what we have. Oh, one more. I have new Sicilian wine. So this is from Mount Etna, a new producer. He actually, it's funny enough, he was born in the Canary Islands in Tenerife, which is famous for their volcanic soil wines. But he moved over to Sicily and started producing his wine. So once again, this is a wine that's just hitting distribution. You won't really see it in too many retail stores, but I'm very excited to have this wine. So it's Torres Acosta. The blend is called Versante Nord. Got 17.5 points from Jancis Robinson. And what's really exciting about this wine, so it's the Red Mascalese, which is a grape typically found on Mount Etna. But it's but 15% of the blend comes from 10 other grapes, including some white wines. So that's a fun like blend and unusual for Etna Rossos. So this is a excellent wine, and I hope you guys will try all of them out, and I'll see you at the store. Thank you.